Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Leaf. Welcome Amiibo! Today I have a headache. I'm still feeling kind of sick, and headaches are just a thing that happens to me when I get sick. I have been still taking cold medicine. I am feeling better, I just mostly have a headache today, so got that going for me. A dream in which you really wanted this, and you were crying and everything. After the dream, I couldn't not give it to you. Please take good care of it. It's probably gonna end up in retail, but Reese will take good care of it. Steel flooring. Why would I... Sky. Thanks for coming to my room the other day. I'll make sure it looks cooler before you come over again. Here's a gift I couldn't give you earlier. Aw. So he was just joking around with us. An old sewing machine. You know, that's actually rather fitting, because, you know, y'all might maybe notice that this is a shirt you've never seen me wear before. Or at least, if you have seen me wear it, you've been watching me for a very long time. Back, like, I want to say over a year ago, one of the buttons on it just kind of pinged off, and it exists in the void somewhere now. And last night I was just sitting here like, you know, I've got nothing else to really do. I'm not really feeling up to playing a game or anything, because, like, my head was just pounding. Wow, I have, like, no space. I don't think I'll be really getting turnips again. You know, I'll just put all this stuff away. I was like, I'm not really doing anything. I'm gonna try sewing a button on. So I hunted down a button that looked close, but it's not exact. You can tell the button doesn't belong if you look really close. It's also not properly lined up. Though in my defense, that's partially because the fabric the button was sewed to is what gave way, not exactly the button itself. Even now the shirt's kind of tight. I need to lose weight. But, you know, it's only tight around my gut, which tells me if I lose my gut, you know. No, I really don't. I don't like someone from any town. I like specific people from specific town. No, Tia. It's the perfect weather. So what can I do for you? Want to chat? Do you think we could go hang out at your house? I know it's quite sudden, but I'm just really curious to see the inside. Sure. Hey, she wants to do it right now. Cool. I mean, animals visiting always takes forever because they want to see every room. But this gives me time to pull up the crazy red guide that I'm gonna need to pull up. So it works out. Because I don't know paintings. We've been through this a lot. So grab me teacup. Yep, it's just as nice as I imagined. It's got an incredibly strong sense of dumplingness. Aww. And here we have the marshy room, which I did make a few extra little adjustments to. So is your house like, you know, Tia, this room is very, very important. It's awfully sweet. I mean, it doesn't remind me of being a little kid. But I don't remember being a little kid. Like, legit, I just kind of don't. My brain's drawn a blank. So, we got this cluttered room. Mega Nebloid just makes the whole room feel a lot more festive. I absolutely love gyroids. That is fair. It's alright if I take notes about your house today. I want to get some layout tips. You shouldn't, but it's perfectly fine. Now we got the moon. Come on over to the moon. You can tell it's the moon because it's made of cheese. And I've also yet to push things to the walls, so, you know. Backyard pool keeps things feeling cool. It's nice to take out in the yard on sunny days. I mean, maybe. I don't know if I would, but It's really streamlined. I think eliminating clutter is a very grown-up way to live. Oh, you are not going to like the basement. The basement is where all the clutter lives. So we'll get there last. We got the upstairs, the friend room. Wow. I mean, she's not in the friend room, I suppose. She's quite a reader. We're in the middle of a book to catch a bug. It's really good. I'm in the middle of, oh, there's a bowl on it. This bowl is from some soup I was having earlier. Yeah, I am in the middle of Dragonlance Chronicles Volume 1, Dragons of Autumn Twilight. I've read these books so many times, but I'm reading them again, because they're good books. You know, that's a comment prompt. What are y'all reading? Like, what books are you reading? If you're not reading a book, let me know that too. So why not? Any book series you're interested in if you're not reading a book? It'd be kind of neat to know. Final room. Should have brought you a present for inviting me over. Sorry for being so scatterbrained. No, it's fine, Tia. It's fine. One thing I love visiting your house, no matter how you decorate, it always feels welcoming. Yes, this feels welcoming. Yes. Yes. I think it's about time I head home. Time goes fly when you're having fun. Thanks again for today. See you soon. Aww. It's totally a welcoming room. I really wish the Dragonlance books were easier to get a hold of. And maybe they are in other places, but like specifically in Nova Scotia, they are not easy to get a hold of. Even buying them online, like, they're not particularly easy to get a hold of, which is what has me thinking they're probably not that common of books, which is kind of sad, because they're pretty good books. Like, they're a really good fantasy series. There as they come. Alright. So we got this guy. I don't know art, so, both arms are at his belt. It's not genuine. We got a man. Let me use my head to censor that. Let's see. That, I believe, if it's over both shoulders. Okay, so that's genuine. She doesn't have long hair. And then there's this. Clam's the wrong way. So, it's just the statue with the bit that probably needs censored, but I've not had a copyright claim about it yet, or strike, I suppose it would be. YouTube hasn't complained. My videos that included are still monetizable. Probably because it's artwork, also probably because it's, you know, a couple pixels. It's not even something worth censoring, I wouldn't think. Yeah, I'll have to see if we have that in our museum. Brewster. Hey, Phineas is here. I would like my coffee today. I'd like my usual. Let me actually get back down to that so I don't forget. I'm pretty sure we already have that, though. I'm pretty sure I remember buying that before. Thanks, Brewster. Now, it's not to say I couldn't find a use for it, but... Because, like, our basement could really use just statues everywhere. Doing fine as always? I am, kind of. I mean, I'm sick, Phineas, but aside from that, I'm doing pretty fine. I've actually spent most of today playing Yu-Gi-Oh, so I really don't have much to talk about today again, other than Yu-Gi-Oh. But the thing I do have to talk about when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh is something really kind of cool, and it's for anyone that might be interested in playing Yu-Gi-Oh, like specifically Master Duel. Oh, got another camper. Who's it gonna be? I'll get to what I was saying once we've seen who the camper is, even though I can't bring them into the town anyway. Oh, it's one of the hamsters. Oh, I love the little squeaks. From, like, the town tune. Hey, from around here? It's... Soli? 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 I don't know. Sol. She's the sun. Great, been looking for a local to chat with. Just camping here in Sapphire for a little while, but this town's really growing on me. Who knows, maybe someday you and I will be neighbors. Nah, I mean, well, maybe someday. Just maybe not in this town. I do really like her little squeaks with the town tune. I always like to imagine that, like, the animals are more or less, like, that's just, like, how they hum the town tune. So, yeah. But, yeah, the deck sous ships, like Gunkin sous ships, is super freaking cheap. And is a lot of fun. And not very complicated. I could see that deck being a good new player deck to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because, like, it's basically, you're building sushi boats. Literal sushi boats. Like, these are basically aircraft carriers and battleships made out of sushi. It's silly. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is silly. But, like, the deck is shockingly consistent, and there are no URs in the entire archetype, so building it is super cheap. Which, ya boy having no income, really love that. Though, I have been thinking of seeing if I can budget some money for buying a few gems. Because I think it would be nice to have a few built up, but I'm basically just playing through ranked to build up gems at the moment. But, like, yeah, I was caught off guard. Like, I was literally going to just, like, throw together a sous ship deck, because, like, I just do that from time to time. Where I'll just go and throw together a deck, because I'm like, well, someday I might try building this. But then, like, seeing there was no URs in the entire deck, that was just like, oh, okay, this is buildable. Like, I've never played sous ships before, but I have been interested in them because they're silly. I like silly. So, you know. And I've been having a blast playing that deck. Now, the variant I built definitely is one where my opponents probably aren't having all that much of a blast. But, you know. Hey, Rooney, I was trying to dig at this point, but, you know, nice weather. How's Skippy? Nice days, put me in a nice mood, you know? So what's up? Let's chat. Think about it. Haven't eaten anything since I woke it up. Not just any fruit. Gotta be a pear. Alright. I mean, we can literally see them from here. You could go and get one yourself. At least step back and let me do this dig. Gotta dig up this fossil. Alright. Let's come get him a pear. Do I have... Yeah, I have space. Let's see. This tree I can get pears off of. Okay, one of them poofed. That's fine. It was gonna take up an inventory space anyway. Hello, Velma. Well, I found what you wanted. You know, a red grid skirt? What? Wait, you did want something like that, right? I swear you said you did, didn't you? Oh, I must have confused things. No, you have to take it. Such a good friend, after all. You really deserve a reward for putting up with me. Aw, Velma, don't sell yourself short like that. You're a pleasure. You always stick by me despite you know how fussy I can be. Aw, you're not fussy. Hey, Rooney. Jabzoo. You wanna eat this? You wanna eat this mushroom? Got a mushroom. Very nice mushroom. Could give you a pretty rare one. He's been waiting for that pear his whole life. Man. A tennis table. Neat. I like table tennis. Not very good at it, but I like it. Another mushroom. But yeah, like, I've been playing a basically stun version of the deck that more or less just seeks to slow the opponent down or potentially stop them from playing the game while I build my boats. Because, you know, gotta keep your shipyards safe. I mean, come on now. There is a version of the deck that's apparently a lot more fun to play that is a lot more focused around just punching your opponent in the face and not using, you know, using a bunch of board breakers instead of floodgates. I might try building that version at some point, but yeah, I don't know. Hey, Lobo. Caterpillar! Did you find a way to wait? I can speak. If I'm gonna stare at fish, I start to feel oddly relaxed. Maybe it's because fish aren't big talkers. Maybe it's because you have 3 of them. What do you think of that? I mean, at least he still has a bed. He's like one of our few residents that still has a bed. And you know what? I'm proud of him for that. He did it. He managed to keep his bed this long. But yeah, the stun variant is definitely the better version to play. But, like, I'm not the biggest fan of floodgates, but at the same time I am. It really depends on the floodgate. Like, if it's one that your opponent can play around, or one that just, like, obviously ends the game, I'm okay with it. You know what? Just because Velma was so just... You know, I'd wear that. Yeah, let's keep that on. I'm gonna leave the bells there for now, while I come and see about bamboo. We still have a lot of fossils to find today, don't we? I didn't actually even look when I had my inventory up. No, we have all our fossils. Okay, so any dig spots will be bamboo. Yeah, I would wear that shirt. I mean, I've had shirts similar but distinct before, so I mean... Like, there's quite a few shirts I've owned. I just have no idea what's happened to them. They've just kind of vanished into the ether. But anyone who's been watching me for a long time, like, knows I have, like, a kind of, like, plaid shirt. Which I think every Canadian does. Like, think, like, generic lumberjack plaid. That's basically the shirt. I think every Canadian just has a shirt like that. It's like they just poof into existence alongside us. I don't get it, but, you know. But, yeah, I've had some really entertaining duels playing Sioux ships as well. One of which, it would have been entertaining regardless of the deck I was playing, because basically what this duel boiled down to was my opponent was playing Yugioh, which is an archetype of 0 attack monsters that really want the opponent to attack into their monsters. Because when that happens, their monsters aren't destroyed, and the opponent takes basically double battle damage. So, you know, you attack in with 2,000, you're taking 4,000. You know, that's half your life right there. I just didn't summon anything. And my opponent was like, combo, gotta find a solution, it's gotta be something I can do that would start applying pressure, and looking through their deck, there was stuff they could have done, like looking through after the duel, but they just didn't find any of it. Or decide to make any of it, and then, like, I was just sitting there like, hey, I'm just not gonna play. Wait, oh, that must be another rare mushroom. Okay. But, yeah, that was just kind of funny. there was also an instance I had that I felt really bad about. So, I play the spell card Dimensional Fissure. Any monster that would go to the graveyard is banished instead. That's the kind of floodgate that I like, because you can play around it. It doesn't stop you from playing the game particularly, it just shuts down a lot of the more degenerate stuff. And it's reciprocal. It does affect me, too. Well, I play it. I summon one of my Su-ships, pass to my opponent, and they play Necro Valley. A card that says, basically, cards cannot leave the graveyard, except by Gravekeeper effects. So I figure, okay, this is like an anti-meta, no-fun deck I'm playing against. They set a card in the back row, they set a monster face down, then they end their turn. And it's like, oh, okay, so you're really like anti-fun deck, you know, anti-fun.deck, and you, like, they made me go first, though. So, like, they chose this. I didn't check for the statue. Whoops. I'll go do that. So it's like, okay, like, you chose this, but why? Oh, hey, Bella. Sup, punk? This is where walk 2. What's going on? Squeak. Let's chat. No, shopping is the best. I like looking in windows even more than I like looking in the mirror. Aw. That's a pretty high compliment for looking through windows. Like, I'm having that thought, and then I attack into his, well, then, like, the Su-ship I had out could attack directly, so I just punched him in the face rather than attacking his monster. And then on his turn, he flipped up a Gravekeeper. He wasn't playing anti-meta, no fun. He was trying to play Gravekeepers. Okay, yeah, we already have that statue, so nothing to buy. So basically, I just shut down his entire deck with a single spell card, which I felt bad about, because, like, that's the one instance where, like, Gravekeepers aren't degenerate. Gravekeepers do a similar thing to Dimensional Fissure. They basically shut down the graveyard. They just do it in a different way. And it's like, he needs his stuff in the graveyard. And I just made it so nothing goes to the graveyard. And, like, he was playing a few cards, and he's, like, desperately trying to, like, find a way to get something into the graveyard. It's like, I'm sorry, my guy. It doesn't work like that. Pudge! I found you! You're catching bugs, aren't you? Can you catch a butterfly? I read something about the butterfly effect. I'm all confused with what it means. That's not gonna tell you about the butterfly effect, but I will do my best for you, Pudge. I don't think there are any butterflies around at this time of day, but I will do my best for you, Pudge. Because you know what? Boys gotta learn about the butterfly effect. Which, ironically, I learned because of EVE Online. Literally, as one of their early trailers, they explain the butterfly effect. Because, like, it is relevant to EVE Online. Because, like, you know, like, let's use an example. Like, let's say you're playing EVE. You blow somebody's ship up. That person might now basically vow vengeance against you and make it their life mission to destroy everything you care about. And you might be like, that sounds a little extreme. Yeah, it is. It's happened, though. There has legitimately been entire empires in EVE Online that were basically, you know, ripped apart by one vindictive person. Like, and this goes to, like, the level people will go to be jerks in EVE. I got your butterfly. Got your flutterby. It's a monarch. Bam. Royalty. Oh, you brought me a monarch butterfly. Thanks. I have something for you too. What we get? It's a shirt. It's a strawberry tank. I mean, I do like the strawberry tank, but I more particularly like, giving it to, like, Fuchsia because it's, like, one of her favorite shirts, and then she wears it for, like, a few femtoseconds and then takes it off, and then suddenly Pudge is wearing it, and now Pudge is giving it to me. I feel like maybe she didn't like the shirt. But yeah, like, this has happened before. And when this happens, like, and I'm talking this was a big, like, multiple thousand player large alliance that was just obliterated by vindictive directors who basically felt wronged by this alliance in the past, worked their way into the alliance, social engineered their way into director roles, basically gaining the trust of nearly everybody in these alliances, and then they just burn the whole thing down. Which tends to also lead to literally these people losing friendships that they made to get to where they were. Like, while also creating a huge amount of distrust between the people that, like, let them into these positions. And it's like, man, it was just some space pixels. What are you doing? Like, I could never do that kind of thing. Like, even to the point where, like, I had contacts. Like, this is to go back to the betrayal I experienced in EVE. I had contacts outside of Providence. I had some contacts in an alliance that were basically coalition buddies with my former alliance, Warped Intentions. Who, like, when I was telling them about it, they were like, man, do you want us to, like, do something about these guys? Like, we can evict them. We can make their lives hell. We can, And my response was, nah, they'll get what's coming to them eventually. I'll gladly let karma take its time. Mush table. And that's exactly what happened. They bit off more than they could chew. They tried to expand well beyond their means. And it ultimately resulted in that alliance crumbling to dust. And from talking with a few people who I still talk with that were in that alliance, they believe it was because their coalition allies basically threw them under the bus. And I wouldn't be surprised, because a lot of their coalition allies, the directors and higher-ups in those other alliances, didn't like them. Because they heard of what they did to me and my corporation, who these people did like. Because a lot of these people I sussed out were basically, a few of the members that joined my corporation were definitely there as spies. They were, I was letting anybody in. It's gonna happen. And, like, these bigger alliances will poke through small corporations doing that just to see, like, hey, what is there to steal? What is there to... and when they find good people, they tend to make contact with them on mains and, be like, hey, let's make something happen here. Because that's just how things are. Not everyone in EVE is a complete jerk. It's actually kind of rare. When you do find them, they are complete, like, dial up to 13 jerks. But, But, like, even now, like, I'd have to log in and actually, like, watch and see. I probably still have active contacts in Goon Swarm Federation, which is one of the biggest alliances in the game. I had director-level contacts there. Test Alliance, I had director-level contacts. Fraternity Dot, I had director-level contacts. Pandemic Legion, I had contact with a few CEOs that were upper leadership, as well as a few directors. CVA, I had, like, literally alliance leader contact. But that was Providence, so it made sense. Pandemic Horde, I had director level contacts. Uh, Brave Newbies, I had director level contact. I was pretty well connected around New Eden. Just from being a genuinely nice dude. Like, it was very much a case of, like, if I had felt like doing it, and I feel like this is partially why the other members of Warped Intentions tried to keep me out of the loop, but at the same time, they really should have tried to leverage my contacts, but they didn't. I had the ability at just about any time to open up the Fleet Finder and see active fleets from all of these alliances I was making mention of names of. I knew quite often when there was a hostile fleet coming into Providence. Like, I knew. And I would tell people. I would do it in ways that didn't, you know, betray the trust that I was given. Like, I would wait until they were close, you know. But, like... Because, like, that is quite the trust to give somebody that's not allied to you, is, you know, the ability to join your fleets, basically. But, like, so many of them would. And, like, it was really nice. Like, it's to the point where if I hadn't gotten just so deflated after my corporation fell apart, I probably could have moved my corporation in with nearly any of the big alliances. After rebuilding a bit. Because they probably wouldn't have taken a corporation in that only had, like, 5 members. You know, that's kind of a waste of time. But if I had rebuilt up to, like, 30, 40 members, that's a significant number of players. That's a whole fleet on its own. You know, that's a significant number of players. Though, I mean, part of my deflation was just realizing that EVE had changed since 2012-ish when I started building. And there just weren't that many new players anymore. So recruitment was a lot harder. So, yeah. A lot of horse mackerels, jeez. I want to hang on to that strawberry tank. I am, like, out of space, so let's go put the strawberry tank away. So I do kind of want to send that to Fuchsia, because she looks so cute wearing it. But I figured out what the town truly needs to succeed. The illuminated arch. Your voice is definitely heard, Velma. I really need to do more public works projects. It's just finding places to put them. That's the thing. Which is the real, like, annoying thing. And, like, I don't like harping on this a lot. But, like, it's one of the things I do like about New Horizons. Is, like, I could, you know, that illuminated arch would just be an item that I could place down and then move wherever I want it to be. So, like, I could have the arch right here kind of thing, you know? You have the freedom to do stuff like that. So, like, I could have, like, an arch at this entrance, and then, like, another one set on the side over here to lead over here if I ever wanted to do that again, which, at this point, it seems a little silly. I could put one up here, even though it would block the rock, but... You know, it's the idea of it. Like, I could put something over here. Like, it's just like being able to put things right next to, like, the brick. You know, it's that sort of thing. I like that. Before anyone jumps down my throat. That is what I like. That is what I wish you could do in New Leaf. And I'm willing to bet any of you watching wish you could also do that. Like, you can't tell me you don't wish you could do that, because you probably do. 67.50? It's not bad. Red snappers are worth a fair bit, I guess. But, yeah. I've been rambling about a lot of stuff today, and I said today would be more Animal Crossing focused. I apologize for that. Yeah, let's do a little bit of path clearing, because we definitely need to again. But, I do, again, put out the call. If there's any Public Works projects any of you guys would like to see that I have, feel free to suggest them in the comments. I mean, I'm more interested in hearing what books you all are reading. But I'm more than happy to hear about Public Works projects too. Now, is there any flowers out of place in here? No, there's not. This path's nice and clear. I like myself some clear paths. Pudge is fishing. Good job, Pudge. Get this one to pick up. Got one right here. Now, I mean, I could literally just be running through these paths, and that would not only make the flowers less of a problem, it would also, like, help with building up the animal tracks, but there's all of that. Yeah, continue filling in this little bamboo forest, because that'll make it less of a problem, basically. Oh. I didn't realize there was a spot there. Now, is there any more spots on this side? No, there's not. Okay. Bam. Yeah, I know it's silly, but I am very interested to hear, like, what people are reading, because, like, as much as I'm so picky on what I read, I'm also, like, always interested in hearing what's out there, because I am so picky on what I read. I'm like, well, maybe someone will suggest something that actually sounds kind of cool, and I'll be like, yeah, I should go read that. Bam. Yeah, is there any flowers in the path down here? There's a Velma, and she's a pretty flower. Yes, Sky is trying to block herself in again. Sky, please keep paths clear, girl. Is that so hard? Apparently it is. And we got a couple here, and that should be it. I think that'll actually finish filling in the bamboo forest, so we'll only have to pay attention to the paths. That'll be pretty nice. Not having to really care past that. Like, that'll make it a lot easier to find our bamboo. Okay, we still need a few more flowers down here, but it's only like 3 more flowers needed. And I could steal those from, like, over here. Yeah, let's just, like, grab these 3. Bam. Bam. And bam! Bamboo forest has been filled in. So now I literally only need to watch, like, along the edge for bamboo sprouts. That'll be so much more convenient. Now, today is Saturday. So even though I've already recorded for 40 minutes, I will be meeting you guys back here later today for our KK concert. I didn't forget it was Saturday. What are you talking about? Don't you imply things like that? But yeah, I'm gonna meet you guys back later today. And I'm back. It took me quite long to get into town. That's a really long walk. I mean, you gotta cut me some slack there. It's a pretty long way to get from the town, like from the residential to the business districts. So we got Claudia here. And as a reminder, I will be talking during the KK performance, just so if I get any copyright claims, I can literally be like, hey, so literally my voice was in that. I'm trying to claim my voice? Because I don't want to deal with copyright claims, my man. Yeah, I'll let you pick KK, but I'm gonna have to talk over it. I'm sorry, my man. I know it's bad concert etiquette, but I gotta do it. Enough tuning, let's groove. Next one's for us. Aloha KK. Oh man, that kind of reminds me of the Pokemon games. Sun and Moon. Pretty cool. I really don't want to talk over this, but I know I need to. So like, I really apologize, guys. I know this is the worst experience of the KK concert, but it was really nice, though. Like, I do really like this. I just need to not... Like, I need to keep talking. That way I can, like, audio jungle it. So even if it is auto detection, it's not going to get picked up by the auto detection. And, like, I don't have a soundboard, so I can't just, like... I can't just Germa audio jungle it. And just, like, record myself doing a bunch of random noises and just play those. You know, I can't really do that. This is really nice, though. I was half tempted to literally, because I still have the book right here, just pick it up and start just reading the book. I mean, I could do that, but the part of the book I'm at, this kind of music would not be fitting. I'm also, like, halfway through the book, so, like, I mean, it's what you're supposed to do when you're picking up a new book, is just pick it up, open to a random page kind of in the middle, and just read. And then see if that catches your attention. If it does, you'll probably like the book. If it doesn't, you're probably not going to like the book. But, yeah. God, I hate that I have to do this. I hate that I have to do this so much. And if I get copyright claimed anyway, and they deny my my counterclaim, then I might just have to stop doing KK concerts. Like, it's so annoying. Especially because it's not every KK song. It's only some of them, but I don't know what ones until it's already through. We'll get to enjoy the song in our radio. That's never been claimed yet, but I also don't play it in the radio long enough to get claimed. Oh, that was a lot of talking. I'm so sorry, KK. Thanks for the boot of the song, man, but I really don't deserve it for talking over it like that, but it's just it's the YouTube game. We're not allowed to enjoy things in our video games. It's also why you're probably never going to see me play a game that even remotely has copyrighted music in it. Because, like, I'm not dealing with those copyright claims. Like, it's such a frustrating thing with gaming. And I was gonna complain about this last week, but I was just too not. And also, there's just a flower here. I cleaned up the paths. Who put a flower there? I know it was you, Jimmy. It's clean this morning. I saw two of the same thing. An extra refrigerator. What? Why would you have two? We have two freezers. Who am I? I don't know why we have two freezers. But yeah, like, companies will license their music into a game and then copyright claim and strike streamers and YouTubers for daring to play that game with that copyrighted music in it. Like, I don't get it. And, like, I really hate it. You know, that would fit your house. I just hope you don't replace your radio with it. There we go. Now there's 2 spaces. I mean, like, a lot of games with copyrighted music in them I just don't care about anyway. Like, Grand Theft Auto, that's a hard pass for me. It just kind of is. Always has been, really. It's a fun sandbox for, like, 20 minutes. And then once you've played around in that sandbox for 20 minutes, you realize there's not really all that much to the sandbox. And yeah, I've never cared about the story of a GTA game. I mean, I suppose Borderlands has some copyrighted music. And I have had times where I'm like, man, I kind of want to try doing like a Borderlands game. But at the same time, it's like the copyrighted music. I know better. That would be copyright claim strike central. Unless I muted all of the music in the game. Which I could do. Let's be real. I could just do that. It would make it a worse experience for anyone watching. Which is also why I really don't understand that. Because, like, these games, like, okay. I understand the music industry has always been dumb when it comes to this kind of thing. But someone playing a video game with a song in it, well, that song is probably there because it enhances that moment. Like, the music playing in the background right now, very calming, very nice, soothing music, really enhances that 8 p.m. vibe. Imagine if I had to mute the music because, you know, it isn't, but let's imagine it was made by some outside composer who's decided they don't want that song heard unless it's been licensed. Well, suddenly 8 p.m. feels a lot worse than Animal Crossing, doesn't it? If you see me playing at 8 p.m., you're probably going to be like, I don't get it. What's the appeal? Because it's just not as nice. You know, being able to hear the game and hear the music as the developers intended, like, it improves the experience. Think there's a fish there? No. I was seeing things. And, like, that's what the copyrighted music tends to be, is a way to enhance the experience by putting songs that the player or viewers of that player will see and be like, oh man, I know that song. Oh man. And then anytime you hear that song, you think of that game. And anytime you think of that game, you think of that song. And it's good marketing without really having to do anything. You just let a game company put your song in a game. And then then the music industry turns around and goes, no, you can't play our songs on your videos, even though it's free promotion for our music, because it's part of this game that these people are, it's part of this game, we put it in so that you would think of this music when you're playing this game, but we don't want your viewers to think of our song while watching you play our game. Like, it's like they're not understanding the value of that marketing. And the games industry didn't understand that at first either. Don't think I'm just shitting on the music industry. The games industry didn't understand it either. But, like, the games industry wised up to it. They were like, ah. Yeah, I don't want to fish too long because I recorded like 50 minutes earlier, but they were like, if people see our game being played, those people are more likely to buy our game. Wow. Free marketing. You know, it's why bigger YouTubers will be given keys to games to play them. It's not because the game designers are like, hey, we like this guy, let's, you know, let's give him a game. It's a case of, ooh, this guy has a big audience that we think would be interested in our game. So let's get him to play it so that they know it exists and buy our game. It's marketing. It's literally YouTubers being used for free marketing because that copy of the game costs them basically nothing. And even if a creator hates a game, it'll still generate sales for that game. Hello to you. Something, I caught you saving up to buy an expensive book, but it's still short, so it's enough to make all the difference. I would just give you the money. I would literally just give you 16,000 bells, and then you could buy your book. Books are important. Reading's important. Everyone should read. It's a good thing to read. I do a really bad job of keeping up with reading, but everyone should read. Okay, it's because I've read these books before, but it's taken me like the better part of a year to get that far through the book. I need to read more. Reading helps keep your mind active. It also helps keep your eyes in good health, and you know, it's just good in general. But yeah, like it's so just like the games industry figured it out, but the music industry, which has been fighting this stuff for so long, has still yet to figure it out. Like, I'm gonna use a really big example here. So, the band Shirk made the song Haunted. It was a thing. It was alright. It's a pretty good song. I liked it. You want to know when it absolutely exploded in popularity? When the YouTuber Markiplier started using it as the outro theme to his scary videos. That song exploded. Shirk themselves made a huge amount of money off of a YouTuber deciding to use their song as his outro music. It was a good thing for them that he did this. Like, and that's the power of YouTubers. Yet the music industry looks at YouTubers, especially YouTubers using copyrighted music, as thieves and pirates, and oh, you're trying to skirt the music industry and not give them any money for using their stuff. It's like, I mean, no, we're not giving you money to use your stuff. We're giving you money because people are hearing your stuff that wouldn't have heard it otherwise, and they are probably gonna go, huh, that's a pretty good song. I wonder who made that. And then they'll go looking and be like, oh man, look, an album. Well, if this group made this one song that's really good, they probably made more songs that are pretty good. And then they buy the album. And if this hadn't happened, they may have never bought that album. That's kind of one of the arguments for piracy as well. That a lot of the people in the games industry that have a real stick up their butt don't understand. Like, let's imagine for a moment, and I'm going to use a real world example here. Let's imagine for a moment that you watch a video on YouTube. Let's say you watch a video on Earth Defense Force 4.1. You then go, wow, that game looks like a lot of fun. But I can't afford that right now. But I can pirate it. So you pirate it. You then because you had a lot of fun playing your pirated copy. You buy the game. And while you've been playing your pirated copy, you're telling all of your friends, man, I've been playing this really fun game. It's called Earth Defense Force 4.1, Shadow of New Despair. It's really freaking good, and it's fun, and it's got, like, destructible buildings and terrain, and, like, you're fighting, like, massive hordes of giant bugs, and it's a lot of fun. You guys should check it out. And then not only when you buy it, multiple of your friends buy it too. Now, you having watched that video of someone who may or may not have pirated the game in the first place. Who knows? I don't know. Now, you watching that video and pirating that game and liking that game because it was a good game just generated multiple sales of that game. That is actually how I got into the Earth Defense Force series. Me having pirated 4.1 years ago created a lifelong EDF fan, or at least until they make a game I don't like, but even then I'll probably still like the games I've liked, and I have bought every EDF game released outside of Japan since I started playing EDF with 4.1. So I've bought 4.1, I bought Iron Rain, I've bought World Brothers, I've bought 5, I bought 6, I'm going to be buying World Brothers 2. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm gonna do it. Like, piracy is marketing. I know that probably sounds completely silly and dumb, and there might even be some of you watching who disagree with me on that. Because you'll be sitting there going, well, I know a guy who all he ever does is pirate games and he never buys them. And it's like, okay, but he's telling you about these games. He is telling you about them, or else you wouldn't know he's pirating them. And if he's pirating a game, well, if you trust he likes good games, you're probably going to be like, well, he pirated this game, so maybe that game's actually pretty good. Some leopard tank. $5.04 for a leopard tank? Okay, is this a leopard 1 or a leopard 2? I don't think it matters. I'll take the tank. Like, it's a pretty good tank. For those who don't get the joke, the German main battle tank is called the Leopard, and there has been a Leopard 1 and a Leopard 2. It was initially just called the Leopard, and then they made the Leopard 2, which then, by process of elimination, made the first one the Leopard 1. But, like, it's still marketing, even if you've got that one friend who never buys games. If he's still telling you about the games he's pirating, he's still marketing for those games. Even if the game's bad and he's like, man, this game sucked. But then he starts listing off things that you're like, man, that actually sounds pretty fun. Like, you might still buy the game. I gotta take the shower stall, Booker. It's too dangerous. Someone might drown. I gotta take it. Doing a good job. Keep up the good work, man. I mean, like, it's just one of those things where it really annoys me when people are like, man, piracy's so bad, and like, it also does just annoy me that the music industry does not understand the power of word-of-mouth marketing. Like, they just don't seem to understand it. Like, I'm honestly surprised the music industry has not tried to crack down on, like, reselling of, like, CDs. And call that piracy, because they make no money off of that. You know, someone managed to buy this CD without giving them any money. That's obviously piracy. Which also, like, okay, it's clear I'm about to end the episode, but I need to rant about this. So, let me get this straight. To anyone that's defending these big companies, fighting piracy. Let's imagine we're in 2034 instead of 2024. The Switch has been long discontinued, and there's a lot of emulators for it. And someone pirates this game. How is that any different to Nintendo than this year if I were to take this game to my local game store and sell it to them, and then someone else bought it? To Nintendo, what is the difference? Someone still got this game without them making any money. They've already got their money for this copy of the game. Like, where's the line? Because, like, if you want to argue, it's because, well, money is still changing hands. Well, what if I walk up to someone and just give them that copy of the game? What then? Is that piracy now? Well, if you say that was willing, then, well, what if I take my Switch and its games out and I lose it somewhere? Someone finds it, they try to get it back to its owner, but they can't find its owner, and they just keep it. Is that piracy? They got the game without paying any money, without anyone's consent for them to get it. Is that stealing? Is that piracy of the game? Like, there's so much nuance to this, but it basically just comes down to, it seems like, if you download over internet, it's bad. Well, okay, then there's a game down there I paid money for, but it's just a code in an empty box. It's downloading that piracy? Straight from the company, sure, but like, what if 10 years from now you can't download it from the company anymore? How are you supposed to play it? Is it wrong to pirate it at that point? Well, pirate it? Like, I don't mean to get all philosophical on this, but I just hate the arguments against piracy because none of them make logical sense. Even down to the argument of, well, if everyone pirated the game, then the game developers wouldn't make any money. It's like, good job. Everybody doesn't pirate games. Only a small portion of people pirate games. And most people who pirate games are in one of two camps. They will either buy the game later, or they were never gonna buy it in the first place. So, like, you're not losing anything. The only difference is, and some people fall into a third camp. They've bought the game, and they're downloading a pirated copy so that they can be sure they will own that game forever. Because let's think of an example here. What's a game? Ooh, I need to open my Steam library to get down to it. But Transformers: War for Cybertron. Let's imagine you wanted to buy that game today. Guess what? You can't. It's not available for sale anymore. License for it expired. Got removed from Steam. Can't buy it no more. You could probably buy a used copy if it was ever sold on discs. I have a Steam copy. I can still download it through Steam because I owned the game. If any of you guys wanted to buy it through Steam, you can't. Your only option is to pirate it. Because you literally cannot have it anymore. If Steam were to ever shut down, that game that I paid money for would just gone. I would never be able to download it again, even though I gave the company money to have a copy of that game. I am legally, that is my copy of the game. There was no EULA at the time saying that, you know, they could revoke my access to the game and that I didn't really own it. That wasn't exactly a thing back then. The games industry wasn't trying to be that scummy back then. But, like, if Steam ever goes away, poof, gone. That money is just 30% of it's in Steam's coffers, the other 70%'s in the game devs coffers. And my good that I purchased is gone. Like, that's the third reason people will pirate games. Is they want to be sure they will own that game. There is a lot of people, and let's be honest, if I had the money to do it, I'd be one of these people who would keep external hard drives with a pirated copy of every game they own on it. So that, and they keep redundancies of that in case one of those hard drives fails, just so they can be sure they will own the things they've paid for. Like, even in a case of, like, Animal Crossing here. This cartridge could break. It could corrupt. It's just data on a SD card, basically. It could become corrupted. And then I would no longer be able to play this game that I paid money for. Because if the cartridge stops working, I can't play it. Meanwhile, if I had a Nintendo Switch emulator and imported my version of the game, I created a rip of it that I could play on that emulator. Technically, I've done nothing illegal. Nintendo would argue differently, but under Canadian law, I would have done nothing illegal. Under Canadian law, it's only the downloading of ROMs that is illegal. You can download emulators for free. You cannot download the BIOS. You have to get that yourself. So I'd have to get the BIOS off the Switch. I'd have to do all the work. But if I did that, Nintendo would be upset that I wanted to continue to play the game past the cartridge life that I paid money for. I love games, though. I've never stopped playing games. This is a long video. I apologize that this is so long, but I know you guys like long videos, or at least seem to. So I hope you enjoyed this long rant of me ranting about things and the 50-minute... I only intended to record for like 20 minutes earlier, and then I just got talking. I also kind of forgot it was Saturday. Even though I literally have right there 24, 12, 23. Or 24, 11, 23. I can brain. My brain moved the wrong digit forward, because technically I'm looking at 24, 11, 22. But ignore that. It's the 23rd. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. I thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Leaf. Welcome, Amiibo. See you all then. And in this end card, if you liked this video, could you smash that like button for me? And if you're not subscribed, hey, could you subscribe and maybe ring the bell? That'd help me out a lot. Thanks a bunch.